welcome to my channel Cake. I'm your hostess Suzanne. Today we're going to be making this 1970s groovy flour power cake. If you'd like to know how I made it and how you can make it too, just keep watching. Okay, I've divided my cake batter into 5 bowls. Let's go ahead and color our cake batter. Now it's time to get this beautiful cake batter into their pans. Our spring color batter is in the pans. Now it's time to bake them. See you guys in a second. The cakes are out of the oven. I have them cooling off on this cooling rack. I'll let them cool in their pans for about 20-25 minutes. And at that time I will take them out of their pans and put them on these cooling racks and let them cool until they come to room temperature. Once they're at room temperature, I'll stick them in the freezer, and shortly after that, we'll start assembling our beautiful spring flour cake. Yay! See you in a second. Now it's time to let them cool to room temperature. Okay, our cake has come to room temperature. You guys, I'm going out of sequence today because I'm making this cake all in one day instead of making my cake layers ahead. Normally at this point I would wrap them in saran wrap and put them in the freezer, but today I'm going to make the whole cake in one day, so I'm not putting them in the freezer yet. Let's go ahead and level them off first. Normally I use my serrated knife, but today I thought I would give this a go. I've had this for many years and I've used it once and I didn't like it. I tested on the purple one and I liked it, so let's go ahead and use it. So beautiful. I love the vibrant colors once you cut off that caramelization. Let's go ahead and fill and stack our cake. I made a batch of my American buttercream. I will leave that video down in the description box below for you guys. It's super easy and it's super good. It's fail proof. Go ahead and check that video out. I'm going to put a little bit of buttercream here on my 6-inch cake board. That will just stop the cake layers from sliding around on it. It acts like a glue. Let's go ahead and start with green. Go ahead and take off your parchment paper if you used any. Go ahead and get that cake layer centered onto this cake board. Set that on there, squish it down, make sure it's nice and level. We're going to go ahead and turn this one upside down as the bottom of the cake is flatter than the top. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the sides and then stick this thing in the freezer to firm it up a little bit so it'll be easier to work with. Time for the freezer. See you guys in a second. Just took our cake out of the freezer. It was in there for 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and insert a skewer in this cake just because it's so tall and thin. I want to be able to stabilize it a little bit. Just stick it in here. And I already cut it down to size. There we go. That looks good. Let's go ahead and give it a crumb coat. I went ahead and put some buttercream in a bag just to make it easier for application. Even though we did trim our cakes to make them nice and level, we still have a little bit of a gap there. Now let's just spread it all around. A crumb coat is just a thin layer of frosting just to seal in those crumbs, so when we give it its final coating, it won't have any crumbs showing through. So it doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. Just needs to cover the whole cake. The pans that I use are a little bit rounded on the bottom, so that's creating more of a dome effect on this cake. I'm going to go ahead and build it up at this time and put it back in the freezer, so when I do the final coat, it'll be less work. At least that's the plan. That looks a little bit better. I'm just going to clean off this lip and stick it in the freezer for a good 15 minutes and we'll move on to the next step. I just took the cake out of the freezer And I'm gonna do something I've never seen done. It could have been done a bazillion times. I've just not seen it. And I'm quite honestly not sure if it's gonna work. Well, I guess you'll see it if it works. If it doesn't work, you'll never see this part. So what my plan is I'm going to use this as a guide, and I'm going to put layers of the frosting on top of each other. I'm going to put one layer down of frosting, freeze it for 15 minutes, put another layer on, so forth and so on. So I have a built-up layer like a little rainbow right in one spot. And then I'm going to cover the cake with the white frosting and then carve out the flower. That's the plan. I don't know where I come up with these ideas. It could be a brilliant idea or it could be the biggest flop you've ever seen. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna pick a spot in the middle of the cake, you guys, and just put the layers on. So, oh, I forgot to mention that I did place this cake on a 8-inch cake drum, just because at the end I think I'm gonna decorate around the bottom. I think. Okay, let's go ahead and get these little patches of color applied to the cake. I'm just gonna pick a little imprint here, you guys. I'm gonna make it bigger than this, but I just don't want to go too small. Here we go, it's right there. Use a little offset spatula. I want this kind of thin, but not too thin. I want it to be able to show through, but I don't want a big fat part of this cake in the middle of the cake either. And I don't want to have to put tons of frosting around the rest of it to make it level. So there's gonna be happy medium here. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in the freezer for 10 minutes and check on it to see if it's firm enough for me to put the next layer on. See you in a second. Last coat, guys. I'm starting to get nervous as I'm not sure this is going to work. But we're going to give it a go. No risk, no reward, right? Okay, you guys, I don't know how long that took, what, 50 minutes. Each color took 10 minutes in between each layer, so I've had a little time to watch some YouTube videos. Let's go ahead and give this a final coat. So I remember where this is because I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to go ahead and put a Post-it note. Of course, it's a Mickey Post-it note. You guys know I love me some Mickey. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a final coat. Okay, I have given it its final coat. I'm going to stick her in the refrigerator. I want this just to get nice and firm, so when I try to carve out this flower, it won't be all squishy on me. I want it to be nice and firm but not frozen. So I will stick it in the refrigerator probably 15 minutes, and we will discover if this technique will work or not together. See you in a second. Okay, now it is time to tell if this is really going to work. I am so excited for this moment. This cake has been running through my head. I've never seen anything like it. That's not to say that there's not something exactly out there like this, but I've never seen it. So I'm very hopeful this is going to be such a really pretty cake, you guys. So let's go ahead and imprint this right where we need it. And remember, we put this Mickey Mouse Post-it note right where we put the layers of colors. There we go, there's our imprint. We're gonna work from there. Okay, the flower is done, you guys. I like it. I'm not in love with it. I think it's a good place to start with this technique. I'm gonna try it again. And I have learned some lessons as I go, so I think it's still pretty. It reminds me of the 70s. You know how we always had the flower power and all the bright colors? I love it. And it's just about to get a little bit brighter. And let's go ahead and put a border on the top of this cake. I think I'm gonna put a little burst border around the bottom. Here's our 70s groovy flower cake. I love it. It's so cute. It is definitely groovy. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. It really does mean the world to me. If you're new to my channel and haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It's quick and it's easy, but most importantly, it's totally free. If you like this groovy 70s flower power video, please give me a big old thumbs up. If you are a returning subscriber coming back to watch another one of my videos, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over. I'm having an amazing day. I hope you are as well. Until next time, make it a great day. Our spring color batter is in the pans. Next step is just sticking them. Okay, we're done. Just joking. It looks good to me now. I just took the cake out of the congestion. My ears are popping, my head's full. I sound like a frog. Ribbit.